Welcome back and thank you for joining us here on the AM show. So did you know that lead poisoning taking the lives of at least over 1.5 million people, taking the lives of people that you know have died from non-communicable diseases? I bet you didn't know this. We sat and had a conversation with Pure Earth, an NGO, seeking to at least heal the earth of such poisoning. And here's what they had to say. Hello there. Welcome back to the show. Thank you so much for staying with us. So let's talk about this very important or serious matter. You may have seen it, you may have heard it somewhere in the news, but you didn't know that it was this serious. Today, let's put some seriousness on it. So if you're far from your TV, come closer and let's talk about this. Lead poisoning, quite a painful one, very silent, you may have not known. But today, we get to understand what lead poisoning or lead pollution is, which is taking the lives of a little over 1.5 million people. They die. And guess what? If you combine HIV and malaria together, it's not even up to this number. This is why we must talk about this. And today, to get a bit more education and what Ghana or what persons who are interested in this matter are doing to at least curb the situation, joining me is President of the non-profit organization focused on tackling lead and mercury pollution, Pure Earth, McCartor. And also here is Country Director of Pure Earth, Esmond Quansah. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, I've heard in the news, especially because in Ghana, galamsey is very prevalent, and so we may have heard, but we may have not put a lot of seriousness in this. I'll start with you, Esmond. Tell us exactly what lead pollution is. Let's put some understanding to it before we get into how widespread it is.
Right. Thank you very much for having us again. And your media outlet has been a partner with Pure Earth for some time now. So lead pollution is a global issue, not affecting only Ghana. Usually lead, it's a heavy metal, but it's also malleable. And it can be recycled. It can also be intentionally or unintentionally, added to consumer products. And when that happens, we say lead pollution has occurred. So your car battery, for example, you have 75% of your car battery is made up of lead. Now, when your car battery reaches the end of life, what happened to it?
Maybe the car won't start.
Okay, so probably you put it out there and I'll give it to your mechanic or somebody. Where does this end up to?
Oh, yeah.
Now, when this is recycled in informal way, it ends up polluting the environment. It becomes a pathway of exposure.
Okay.
Same with the consumer products we're talking about. We are not supposed to have...
QuickBooks gives me the superpower to automate my invoices, track expenses, and get paid fast so I can get back to what I love. Get more done in less time with QuickBooks Online.
It's become a pathway of exposure. Where that happens, it leads to poisoning. So the numbers you are throwing out, as a result of lead pollution, you get poisoning. And then it leads to complications.
Okay, now I'm afraid because I want eyeliner today. Andrew, let me come to you. I would have thought that we should be concerned only in Ghana, but I'm just learning that it's a global issue. You want to tell me how widespread lead pollution is?
Sure. Yeah, this is an issue that affects countries around the world, low and middle income countries in particular. So it's not just Ghana. Countries across Asia, Africa, and Latin America are all struggling with this issue, and awareness is very low today. Fortunately, awareness is growing quickly at this point. But for example, lead is taking 5 or 6% of global mortality. Can you imagine something with so little awareness taking such a massive health toll? Nearly 1 billion children in the world have a concentration of lead in their blood that exceeds the World Health Organization's threshold for intervention in the child's life. So it's really a massive public health issue.
I see. Esmond, I know that you've just mentioned a few of the things that could be the sources. Let's get a little bit into that. You mentioned if, for example, car battery, if recycled informally, this will mean that there's a way we can handle some of these things that will not lead to lead pollution. So let us in a bit more on that.
Yes. So usually the lead in car battery, if recycled in a formal way, according to laid down procedure, it would not lead to pollution. So what Pure Earth has been doing on the global stage and also in Ghana is working with the authorities, the government agencies. One thing about Pure Earth is that our mission is to partner the government and the community and industry leaders to find solutions to toxic heavy metal pollution like lead. So Pure Earth has been working with the agencies here to strengthen regulation to ensure that the lead use battery acids are recycled in a very safe and sustainable way that will not lead to pollution.
Okay. Andrew, but of course, I like to think that some people are more at risk, or everybody is at risk. Is that it?
No, people are more at risk than others. For example, if you live in an industrial zone where car batteries are being recycled unsafely, you'll certainly be more at risk. And actually, Pure Earth has tested the blood of thousands of Ghanaians to see the disparities and the geographical differences. And we found that kids were particularly at risk when they lived in industrial zones. But other hotspots emerged also. So kids in the northern region had high concentrations of lead in their blood, and there isn't much industry up there, not a lot of car battery recycling. So we're currently investigating what kind of consumer products might be exposing them to lead.
I mean, I know that you're a researcher, but on top of your mind, what do you think would be contributing to that?
We think that food and consumer goods are probably a significant pathway for exposure. So for example, we've tested lots of market goods, and we found lead in traditional eyeliners. Sometimes it's called kohl or kajal or chilo in Ghana. And these traditional eyeliners often contain lead.
Right. Consumables. In my little readings, I've been learning that ayelo, white clay. Is this true?
I think it's an area that we are learning more. There have been some levels of concentration of lead found in that, but it's still an area under study. A lot of detailed studies being done to ascertain the extent of heavy metal contamination in the ayelo, the one the pregnant women chew, right? Yes.
Let's talk about Pure Earth more. Particularly, what is your focus in this? Maybe Andrew.
Sure. So we focus on preventing human exposure to toxic chemicals, but right now we're really focused on two chemicals. Lead, because it is by far the chemical that takes the biggest toll on global health. But we also focus on mercury, which we know is a challenge here in Ghana as well, with the mining and the pollution of rivers and then the pollution of the food system. And we basically approach these chemicals with three types of interventions. Understand the level of exposure, typically through biomonitoring and health surveillance. Then understand how people are getting exposed. Is it in the environment? Is it consumer goods? Is it food? And then finally, work with government in all three stages to design solutions. Does this need a regulatory response? Is it community education that's needed? Do we need to work with industrial producers to change their practices? And fortunately, we're going to be working over the next 4 years in Ghana to do all three of those steps.
Okay, oh, that's good to know, refreshing to know. But Esmond, how difficult or easy has it been so far in trying to even bring up this conversation in Ghana, especially because of what you're researching into lead and mercury, which is almost a lifestyle thing for us in this country? What has been the response like so far? Easy, difficult?
Yeah, I would say it has been challenging, not easy and not difficult as well. Pure Earth has been working with the government of Ghana since 2007, right from the putting spotlight on the issues in Agbogboleshi e-waste project, all the way down to the current project that we are implementing. And as I mentioned earlier, Pure Earth mandate is to work with government agencies to be able to address these issues. And so I would say that given the scale of the issue and in terms of knowledge, I mean, across the globe, little is known about this. Most people are not aware. I would say Ghanaian government has been very, very proactive in collaborating to address the issues. I remember in 2016 to 2008, we have a small project with the Ghanaian government on